for the data table, we will be measuring the distance, amplitude, time, and wave speed for the first, second, and third trial. Now we will be measuring the distance of the slinky by using the meter stick to measure how far it is stretched. And with this, the distance is kept constant, which means keeping the distance the same throughout the rest of the trials. And with the measurements that we got from the slinky, we can now record this in our data table as 2.12 meters for all 3 trials. Now we will record the measurements for the amplitude for the 3 trials that we would fill in our data table later on in the video. The first amplitude measured was 20 centimeters. The second amplitude had a measurement of 35 centimeters. And lastly, the third trial had an amplitude measured 50 centimeters. In this demonstration, we are going to show you how to time your wave speed. In the first trial, you can see that the time for the first amplitude would be 59 seconds. For the second trial, the amplitude will be measured 1.29 seconds. And for the last trial, the amplitude will be timed as 1.50 seconds. So now we will record 0.59 seconds for our first trial. And for our third trial, we will now record the observation of 1.5 seconds with the same distance as 2.12 meters. And now, in order to calculate our wave speed, we will use the equation V equals D over T. D will demonstrate distance and T will demonstrate time. Lastly, we will calculate the wave speed by taking the distance and time of each trial. Now for the first trial, we had a distance of 2.12 meters with a time of 0.59 seconds. Now to calculate this, we will take V equals 21.2 meters over 0.59 seconds. And when we calculate that, the wave speed will be 3.59 meters per second. Now for the second trial, we still have 2.12 meters with a time of 1.28 seconds. So for the wave speed, we will take V equals 2.112 meters over 1.28 seconds. And when we calculate it, it will be 1.66 meters per second. Lastly, our distance is still 2.12 meters for our third trial, but with a time of 1.5 seconds. So we will take 2.12 meters over the 1.5 seconds. And the answer for the wave speed of the third trial is 1.41 meters per second. Lastly, we will have our table filled out and you can see how amplitude affects wave speed. As recorded in the data table, the higher the amplitude, then the less the wave speed is. So with that being said, amplitude does have an effect on wave speed.